Good evening, everybody. We'll call this Monday, June 23rd, 2025, meeting of the Lake Havasu City Parks and Recreation Advisory Board to order. Can all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. We're going to go ahead and skip number 3 there and move on to item 4, call to the public. We'll now have an open call to the public for citizens wishing to address the board on issues within the jurisdiction of the board. Your comments must be limited to 3 minutes or less. If you wish to address the board, if you wish to address an item already on today's agenda, you should wait until that item is announced for a public hearing. At the conclusion of the open call to the public, individual members of the board may respond to criticism made by those who address the board, may ask staff to review a matter, or may ask that a matter be placed on a future agenda. However, board members cannot discuss or take legal actions on matters not already on today's agenda. With that being said, would anybody like to address the board at the call to the public? All right, seeing none. We're going to move to item 5.1. We're going to go ahead and table that till the next meeting. Move on to item 6.1, the director's report. Director Vera?
Thank you. So it's been about 2 months since we last met. I believe April of this year was our last meeting. We've had quite a bit of action within our parks, whether that's through our maintenance team or even our recreation. I've streamlined it to make sure we're not going over too much. So Anderson Toyota donated the shade structure over at the Island Ball Field. So for the Chiefs, I have a picture in there later on in the presentation. So that's already been installed. Avalon Dog Park water fill areas received new concrete pavers, and this is to basically mitigate some of the erosion and the water. It was just muddy and kind of grody, and people were getting their dogs dirty. So the maintenance team went ahead and paved all that. It looks absolutely beautiful. Main Street Commons recently actually received some additional lighting. So we've got some beautiful lighting all throughout the park from pole to pole. So just added a touch of ambiance and a little bit more security. And then our Cypress Park fields are currently closed for turf maintenance. So with the 1,800 plus participants we have on those fields, along with the other residents that we have utilizing those fields, they are definitely overused. So we want to make sure we're going to take about 2 months to let it rest. They should probably be open, I believe, August 4th. So give us plenty of time to work on getting those up to par before the soccer season kicks off. And then Rotary Park and London Bridge Beach received 1 new drinking/water fill station replacement. We had a couple areas where the water fill stations weren't working, so the team went in and replaced them. And then just to show off that new shade structure at the Island Ball Field, which looks absolutely fantastic. And then those new concrete pavers at the Avalon Dog Park and the new lighting at Main Street Commons. Those water fillers, and just to show off that kind of torn up turf over at Cypress to really put a perspective what it's looking like right now. And then our aquatics, so our session 3 and 4 for our summer swim lessons will be held in July, so next week, and we already started registration for those today actually. So really great turnout with registration. I believe classes are already full. And then we have open swim days 7 days a week throughout July, which is almost every Sunday is a sponsored swim as well. So we're really excited about that, giving the other community an opportunity to utilize the facility, and not so much through exercise classes or lap swim, but more of that open swim for families and kids to really be able to utilize the facility before school really starts up. And then our Summer Swim League final swim meet will be held on July 11th. Our junior lifeguards will actually go on with the fire department on the fireboat July 14th, 15th, and 16th. And then something that is actually not on here is the Parks and Recreation Association for Arizona is holding a statewide lifeguard competition. And we're sending 5 of our lifeguards over to compete with all the rest of the cities in the state. So I'm hoping we bring home a trophy because we have some awesome lifeguards. So that's actually going to be on June 29th. So that's next Sunday. So we're super, super excited for that. Junior Lifeguard Olympics will be held on July 18th. The aquatic staff are guarding the beach currently for our recreation programs. So our Camp I Wanna Go or Adventure Camp or Adventure Academy, I'm sorry. They have some days throughout the summer where they're actually at the beach because we're not having them inside the aquatic facility, but being able to utilize our beach areas. So we have our lifeguards stationed out there. And then there'll be scuba held 2 days in July, and then the Havasu Back to School swim will be held on Saturday, July 19th. And then lastly, angelfish lessons will be held all throughout the month of July. And just a reminder, those are our adaptive swim lessons for people with intellectual disabilities. Now for our recreation, so I know in our last meeting, I had told you we had made offers to 2 program coordinators. Well, they've actually started. They've been here for a few weeks now. Thank you. They've been here for a few weeks now. So if I could have David Bell, please stand up. Just wave to the crowd, David. So David Bell has actually been with the department just shy of 20 years. September will be his 20 years with the city. So we're really excited to have him on board. David is overseeing our after school program and our summer programs. So really excited to have that knowledge and that expertise for somebody who's been here so long and has seen multiple different years and leadership. And I think it's going to be really great. And he's done a really great job since he's been here for the last, 2 months already almost, or almost 3? Close to that. Yeah. So he's been doing a great job. And then we have Brooke Dubé. So wave. Hi. So Brooke actually has quite a few years of experience too, working for, I believe it's the Yellowstone Co-op. So she actually worked in Wyoming or Montana for a while doing specialty programs for the actual employees for the national parks. So for the national park employees that lived on site, they were actually able to have their own recreational opportunities while they were off work, and Brooke and her team led those. So, and Brooks also was an English teacher in Ecuador, so she's got a little bit of experience just with the teaching and the special interest classes. So Brooke is actually overseeing our special events and our special interest classes and our programs. So we're really excited to have Brooke too, and she's done a phenomenal job as well in the short time that she's been here. So super happy to have them both on our team. And then if you didn't know, July is Parks and Recreation Month, which we are so excited for, obviously as Parks and Rec nerds. And we have a bunch of programs that we're looking forward to. Brooke has done a fabulous job putting together a robust program, and we'll go through that a little bit later. But basically we have 25 programs scheduled for the month of July. So special events, programs, just quick one-offs, a bunch of different activities. There's almost something every single day. So super excited for that. Our summer camps have been running really, really smoothly. We've been averaging 100 plus for each of our sunshine camps. And then our Adventure Academy has been averaging about 60 to 80, depending on the day. Most of our participants start in summer school before they actually enter into the program. So our numbers fluctuate from morning to afternoon. But the team has done a fabulous job putting that curriculum together. The kids are having a great time. It's just been absolutely fantastic. And then our after school program registration opens up Tuesday, July 1st. So we're starting registration much earlier this year to give parents a jump start on making sure all their paperwork is turned in, that our staff are ready and set to go for the school year. We don't want to have any hiccups. Is it this one? There we go. And then just to recap some of our stuff, because it has been a while, we did have our Truckapalooza event. So we probably had well over 500 people at the event, and I'm sure Chairman, you were there, and you saw that great turnout. And thank you guys. Thank you to the Sheriff's Department for bringing everything out. They were locked and loaded with every single piece of equipment you could think of, from boats to jail buses to armored trucks. It was absolutely fantastic. So a really great turnout. We actually brought our after-school students out there in addition to the general public. So it was just really, really great to see all those kids with their little yellow construction hats with the Lake Havasu emblem on it. So it was just really, really fantastic. And then we are already in our second or third week of Adventure Camp. We're in our third week of Adventure Camp. Just a reminder, that is a 4-day camp, and for the 4 days, there's snorkeling, kayaking, archery, and then fishing. So we had some pictures. Again, thank you to the Sheriff's Department for pulling up and checking fishing licenses to our little fishermen and fisher ladies.
It was staged.
On the dock.
I can assure you, they weren't actually checking their licenses. It was for educational purposes.
But it was great. It was great. So that was fantastic. And then you'll see some of the kids under the bridge. So we've gotten a lot of really great feedback from the program. A lot of the kids are really enjoying themselves, and it's filled up every week so far. And then our summer camp, I just have some cute videos. I'll play little short clips real quick so you guys can see. So, but
Jackson and Francis. These kids are having fun.
And that's actually with that new curriculum from the Sparks program that we were talking about. So they were playing Frisbee football. And the staff had texted myself and Marcus, our recreation superintendent, a bunch of videos because the kids and the staff were actively engaged in playing the games, which is something that we hadn't seen for a while. So we were super excited to see the staff get excited just as the kids were about playing. And then this second video, the kids are actually at one of our fire stations.
Go, Audrey!
That was a little loud. Okay, I skipped it. But we had our kids go out to the fire station and they were able to get a tour, and they actually did like a fire pail, like a water pail challenge, which is what they were doing too. So with our Adventure Academy, we did a lot more immersive field trips, taking them to local businesses to get them actively engaged and see what some of the businesses do within our community and get them excited. We've got them, I believe, going to the Humane Society. They went to the fire department. They have something scheduled with Tropical Smoothie. They've been doing a lot of different culinary activities just to get them engaged in different things and different facets, possibly career opportunities. So we've gotten, like I said, a really great feedback from our participants. So, and then to end it, of course, just a reminder that July is National Parks and Recreation Month. In front of you, there is a calendar of events, which is what you see on the screen as well. Those are all the special events, activities, special interest classes, programs that we're putting on in the month of July. You guys all got a sneak peek because we're not marketing this till tomorrow. So you're welcome. But again, so it's over 25 different programs, and there's something for everyone from youth, teens, adults, active aging adults, people with intellectual disabilities. We wanted to make sure everybody felt included. There's some activities where we're going to be out in the parks on certain days, passing out popsicles and snow cones, just so the community can get engaged with us and understand what it is that we're doing, possibly learn about some of our other programs that are coming up, and then just learn about Parks and Recreation Month in general. But we definitely want the community to know that we're stepping out of our comfort zone. We're doing different things. We want to make sure that they're involved, so we have something for everyone. And then this concludes my presentation. I tried to make it short.
No, that was amazing. Great job. Great job. Any comments? I'll let you go first.
I love everything about everything that you all are doing. It's amazing.
A little short on board members today, so I just have a couple comments. Wow. I mean, amazing report. I'll tell you, and you guys have heard me say this 1,000 times, as somebody who was born and raised in this town, I was always the first one to say there's nothing to do for kids. You guys have come a long way in a very short amount of time.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, definitely thank you. This town is amazing, and, we need to do everything we can to keep these families here. And you guys are doing your part by offering the things that you're doing. I don't know how you guys are managing all this, but keep it up for sure.
Lots of caffeine.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can tell you that just an example of something I was involved with, like the chief shade structure. That was a structure that was much needed for a long time. That structure was right at $65,000 is what the donated amount was to the chiefs. And then the chiefs in turn worked with the city to get that installed. And, and the city was amazing. Your park superintendent, Guy Reynolds, just above and beyond, to get that up and before the season. And technically our season starts tonight. So actually I'm 12 minutes late to that, but the amount of, the praise and just the thankfulness of people and again, how well it turned out and how cooperative the city was, that your staff was to working with the chiefs to get it up. Just shows that, the small town like Havasu, environment really does exist. So, thank you for that. Cypress Field, I know that needs a lot of love, but it gets a lot of use. So it's definitely good to see that on your guys' list. The Truckapalooza, that was a heck of an event. I remember going to one of those as a kid. I could tell you it was significantly busier than I thought it was going to be. So great job on the marketing, great job on getting kids there. I was there. I can tell you that the smiles were were just as far as you could see. So it was definitely amazing. And to see the partnerships that were there with, your guys' departments, the city's departments, the police department, the fire department, the sheriff's office, the kids could literally go and be climbing in a dumpster. Next thing you know, they're in an armored vehicle. And next thing you know, they're in, a police side by side. And next thing you know, they're in a fire truck. So it was definitely amazing to see that. Just to kind of round it out, just the partnerships that I was hearing about, all these things that are on your guys' list and on the calendars and how you're taking them and doing all these things. And, you're even with private businesses and all these different events that you guys are taking them to and how involved it is. I mean, it's amazing. So, again, I got 2 young kids. I'm vested into this, so I appreciate truly what you guys are doing. So thank you. Welcome, David and Brooke. You guys are going to be an amazing piece of this puzzle. So thank you guys for coming tonight. The only question I did have is, Cameron was wanting to know what the Super Smash Bros. Tournament is. I think he was interested. So, can we get him signed up or?
Of course.
What is it?
So it's an esports tournament.
Yeah.
So we're setting it up just like elimination rounds, and this was a way for the kids that don't necessarily feel like their spot is in sports. Because we have so many kids within our own programs that they're more inclined, virtually, like they love their video games, like that's what they're interested in. So when we talk about we wanted to hit everybody, we wanted everybody to feel included. And for something as so simple, we already have switches in our own our assets. So we're like, okay, we can set up 2 separate rooms. We're going to have an older tournament going on. We're going to have the younger guys with their tournament going on. I think what we decided maybe is just single elimination, but just something to get them out. Esports has really become a really popular thing. We're going to start off with Smash Bros. I think the intention is just to see what the feedback is going to be from the community, and then possibly like hold a club, like an esports club, and do some of these things that are constantly happening, not just a one-off special event, but something then that people can sign their kids up, whether it's a Lego club or an esports club or an art club. Like those are the things we're trying to touch and feel out before we really start investing in the equipment for these different activities. I mean, some of the stuff we didn't even talk about today, we have a crochet class going on. We've got a clay class going on. We've got itty bitty golf going on. And all of those programs are full. And I think I'm missing one more too. There's a couple more. We packed it out for June, but then we really packed it out for July. But everything that we've done so far, I mean, we've been able to fill up. So for us, that shows that there is a need for it, that we're doing what we need to be doing. We're getting better about our marketing. We're getting better about the flyers, making sure that things are posted far in advance so families have an opportunity to sign their kids up. And then this also has allowed us to, for our golf class, we capped it at 12 kids. Well, it was with the intention, we didn't know if it was going to fill up. Well, it filled up, and then we still had parents coming in saying, I wanted to sign my kid up, and we had to unfortunately turn them away. So now we know, okay, we need to bump up these numbers. We need to be able to accommodate more families. So the team has done a great job. We've been strategizing, figuring out the best way to do this. Obviously, we are limited with space within our own facility space. So we're just trying to work some magic and figure out what we can do. So that's why some of these things are more creative, like fishing from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. at Site 6. Or doing popsicles in the park. There was no rooms that day. But how can we still do something so the community feels that impact and that there's still a presence? And we're working on some other really cool stuff behind the scenes. So I'm really excited for the team. And I feel like we've all come together and we have great ideas, and it's everybody. It's from our park superintendent, our recreation superintendent, our program coordinators, Lynn, our admin specialist too. Like it's a really great team right now. And this is the proof. Oh.
Great. No, I love it. Like I said, thank you to you and everything you're doing. Definitely thank you for spearheading. Your superintendents, Marcus, Guy, you guys are amazing. So keep up the good work, guys. You guys are doing great things for the community. All right. Anything else? All right. We will move on to our public hearings. Item 7.1, presentation regarding the city's 4th of July Fire on the Water fireworks show. Did you have anything, Director Vera? Did you want me to open it up to them?
No, they can go ahead and present. I think everybody's excited to hear what's going to be happening.
We'll open this up to Steve Ticknor. Just you, or did you want to bring... Guys, come up, introduce yourself. You're welcome to. Come on up.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Ticknor with DSM Events. This is my business partner, Jim Russell, and we are very excited to be here tonight and present you with our new 4th of July fireworks event. Would you like to start off and give a little bit of history of Lake Havasu fireworks?
Yeah, well, yes. I think perhaps most of you know, but we had the great honor of being approached a year and a half ago by City Hall, and we were told that for all these years, City Hall has paid a considerable amount of money for pyrotechnics, and they come to town and get exploded, and everybody goes home. And that's what it's been. And the parties at attendance thought that they would like to have it develop into more than just that. And we took on the challenge of building a festival around the city's fireworks. And we had hoped to do it last year and discovered that it was considerably more complicated to execute than we thought. And it has taken the full year to get it all the little pieces put together. But we elected to continue with the pyrotechnic supplier that has been providing the city for a good number of years, as they know the territory and have delivered a fine job for the cost. The previous firing location has been at Spectator Point, and as we know, that has now become private property. And though the city had an agreement with the new owners to be able to use it for the purpose, we felt it not wise to start building a new festival around property that could come into question and have another factor to deal with. Plus, we wanted the festival area to enjoy a really good view of it. So with consultation and the help of Chip Shalosky, who many of you know, Chip is part of DSM Events now, and Chip brings his experience not only from the fire department and public safety side, but from being the city's liaison to the Western Pyrotechnic Association. He is very knowledgeable in all aspects of the pyrotechnic show. So he filled in what Steve and I knew next to nothing about, and we selected, with the consultation of the pyrotechnics firm, we selected Pittsburgh Point by the lighthouse. We got everybody down there to check it out for us. Guy, of course, was with us on every aspect of this. Chief Pete was there and determined what the fire department would require.
There's certain fallout zones from the shells, and so you have to clear out, a certain perimeter around where that's going to be. So that worked out really well. It's going to go roughly into the parking lot by the skate park, and there'll be a fence that goes all the way down into the water line there, just keep people out of that area the best we can.
And the guy got all of the brush cleared to Chief Pete's satisfaction. So the site was prepared, and we will use for the festival itself, we'll use your baseball diamonds, and very thankfully Gabby was in from the beginning and endorsed her use of their baseball diamonds. We have not ignored the rather large spectator fleet that is attracted. We are going to look to develop a component for the boating public as this develops. The Marine Association will be involved with us to help, and very, very fortunately, Schuyler's Sheriff's Department has agreed to help RPD, and that I don't think we'll have any change from previous years, other than instead of being clustered by the nautical, they'll be clustered by Rotary for the best viewing. This will also change the city viewing a little bit in that it'll move it a little further south. So it should improve the viewing by the homeowners of the fireworks on the south side a little better than it has been in the past. We've made this a free festival, so we have learned that there's already a very large number of people assembled at Rotary for the fireworks and for celebrating the 4th.
People at the beach, yeah.
On the beach and everywhere. And so we're going to open the free festival at 1 p.m. We have a local band that will be playing. Swamp Donkey is the local band that will be playing, and they will start at 3 and play up until we go dark for the fireworks display itself. We've done everything that we can to make it as little destructive to your beautiful park as we can. And Guy has kept a gun to our heads about when we can bring equipment in. We'll be as respectful as we can with all of that, as your people have been spectacular to work with, just superb. It's a partnership, and we are very pleased to be a part of it. Go Lake Havasu has joined with us in a great supporting role. When we left City Hall a year and a half ago, the first place that we went was to our long-established friends at Anderson Auto and Power Sports Group. And they signed on immediately and are in it for the long haul. We want to build this into a signature event for Havasu, and part of that will be to develop the aquatic side of it as we go along. And Go Lake Havasu jumped right in. Sean Buckley, the new CEO at Go Lake Havasu, is been a welcome, enthusiastic, and beneficial partner with us on this. We've down now to just physically putting it together. We'll start bringing equipment in next Tuesday. We'll start setting up on Thursday. We'll bring the small number of vendors in on Thursday, and we will have display cars. We'll have display boats. We thought it was an opportunity to bring some of the boats, the Desert Storm caliber boats that people don't get to see other than at the street party. So we'll have some displays of that sort of thing. We'll enclose an area roughly 200 feet square and it will be fenced for liquor requirements, of course. And as I mentioned, it'll be free. There'll be no gate charged, but we have to enclose it for the liquor protection. And the opportunity to sidestep and thank you all for what you did for us for Desert Storm. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. People all over the country were worried if we were going to have the eye of the storm. And we said, nope, they've told, we're not worried.
Yeah.
We're not worried.
You guys pulled it out.
And we can't thank you enough, and it was appreciated. I don't think we've had the opportunity to share with everyone here. Desert Storm Street Party, we have geofenced. So we have the only actual numbers of event attendance ever in Havasu history. And we broke 20,000 people on McCullough Boulevard and the eye of the storm from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. that day. The biggest event ever in Lake Havasu history, and we owe it to your great cooperation from
Well, I would say,
Guy. I hate to have him here.
well, I would say, Jim, thank you guys for taking such good care of one of our newest parks and our newest asset. You guys did a great job, and thank you so much. Obviously, with the help of our lovely superintendent over there. But it was a great event. I actually walked it. I had Marcus, our recreation superintendent, come out there too because Guy told us to too. He's like, you have to see it. And we're like, okay. And it was probably one of the coolest things I had seen. I had never seen boats like that. So just a really great job. And thank you guys for taking such good care of the park. So
It was a really great venue, really a lot better than we even thought. It was a little challenging to restructure and how we set things up, but at the end of the day, we had never seen that many people go through the park during Desert Storm. It was incredible, really, really cool.
Great, thank you. Any questions? Okay.
Just to recap, I like what Jim said too. Just real quickly, I think our intent is to, like kind of what you said, Kyler, make this something for not only people from out of town and stuff, but people that live here, to give the kids and the families something to do and see for the day. The challenge with the event in the middle of summer, of course, is the heat. So our intent is to have cooling stations and a water slide for the kids and stuff like that, so that people have a place to cool off. And we're close by the lake too, so that's helpful. So, but we really look forward to this, and like Jim said, to grow it. This first year will be a little bit experimental. To see what the turnout is and what people have to say about it and things like that. But we really appreciate your help and letting us use the park, and it should be really good. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a great event. I'm excited to see that new location and see what you guys have to offer for the festival. What exactly is, what else is included in the festival? So obviously you talked about vendors, a band, kind of a beer garden type thing. So
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have
just a kind of a gathering place. Is that the
yeah,
thought?
we're gonna have our 450 seat grandstand set up down there. So it be aimed for excellent viewing of the fireworks. People can also come and bring their their beach chairs and towels and whatever they want to lay out. We're going to have food trucks down there, ice cream, things like that. There's going to be a cornhole tournament going on in the later afternoon. And what else? I think that's...
And we have tried to get our Condor Squadron, the World War II aircraft that we fly for us for Desert Storm, and we still have our fingers crossed. They're very busy for the 4th of July, needless to say, in California, and we've not announced anything because we may not be able to pull it off this year, but that's one of the things we're working on and hope to be able to deliver.
Great.
And it's just to give people a place to go, something to do, something to cool off with, whether it's a cold Bud Light or a slide in the water, or Mojave Mist's cooling stations that we'll have. It'll be a little cooler than the rest of the park, and we'll learn a lot from that as to how we handle it and what we need more of or less of, things to continue to build it. But the purpose is to have more than the fireworks going off.
Yeah.
This will give people something to do, a little something new, a little better look at Havasu for people that are new to it.
Yeah. I think the city's point of view too is like there's a lot of smaller towns and communities that have a much better 4th of July celebration than what we've had for a long time. And so that was kind of the whole thing with the partnership, and to try to build that around that and make it really something special. Like Jim said, make it eventually more like a signature event, and maybe even expand it into more than one day with a parade or like who knows, hot dog eating contest, whatever. So something fun.
Yeah.
So we'll build on it.
No, I'm excited. I like the fact that if you've never seen fireworks from that close, I tell anybody go see it for that fact alone, because that's a different world. But I like the fact that it gives a safe gathering space, instead of people just maybe going through the desert and Body Beach and stuff like that, trying to find their own viewing spot. It gives a place that is meant for it. So you guys run some amazing events, so I'm excited to see what you guys bring to the table for this.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Many with your support. Thank you for your sheriff.
Of course. All right. Any questions? Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. This is a public hearing. Would anybody like to address the board on this item? All right. Seeing none, bring it back to the board. Any final comments, discussions? Nothing? Okay. All right. Move on to item number 8, future discussion items. Okay. Seeing none, future meetings.
Our next 2 meetings are scheduled for July 28th, 2025 and August 25th, 2025.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you to everybody that showed up tonight and made this meeting amazing. We're going to adjourn this meeting. Have a good evening.